Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. This is the Levittown Public Library's Posture Alignment with Kimberly. Today is Monday, August 29th at approximately 11 a.m. Go ahead, Kim.
Thank you very much. Approximately 11. Here we are again. Welcome back. Good to see you. Take your time there, Lynn. Take your time. We have a tight little group today, and my idea was to do some stuff that we don't normally do with a larger class. But before we get started, I have to go over all the little legalities, make sure that your doctor has approved you being in class and that you're okay to go for exercise. If something doesn't work for you or hurts, or you got an issue, please let me know and we will address that. Other than that, listen to yourselves. If something doesn't feel right, I'll give you as many modifications as I can. And don't do something if it doesn't feel right to you. That's the end of that. So we're going to do some stuff like legs up the wall, stuff where we're actually recruiting the wall to do the work. So when we do that, over here, we've got some room and it'll work. I want to avoid putting legs on the wall up here because the library has such a nice white background. And I know that they don't want me to smear that up. So we'll do our best. Going to start out in static back today, and we'll follow up with static back knee pillow squeezes. So make sure you have a pillow or you have a block with you. Are you okay on the floor, or do you want to stay in chair today?
I'm okay.
Okay, so you can sit in chair and you can do knee pillow squeezes from there, no problem. So you can grab your block and just make sure that it's nearby because we're going to access that afterwards. Everybody else, we're in static back for the first 5 minutes. I'm going to hang out there. Hi. So static back, I got my timer going. We're going to stay in static back for 5 minutes. So this is static back. I am demonstrating. We are putting our legs up on top of something, trying to get as close to a 90-degree angle as you can if you're able to get on the floor. I will show you a modification for this that one of our students is doing today. But before I show that, I want you guys to make sure that when you're laying on the floor, if you notice that your head is pointed behind you and you're feeling a tension in your neck, that's due to your shoulder position. And it's a good idea to put something underneath your head to relieve that neck tension, just so that it can put your face in a more neutral position, more parallel to the ceiling. Okay. So some of you guys aren't getting on the floor with me today. That's okay. So I'm going to give you a modification for that. If you look at some of the exercises and positions that we do, there's something really cool that you might not have noticed. Some of my students over the year have noticed it. If you look at the positions, you can think of where you can put that in different scenarios. So laying on your back with your legs up at 90 degrees looks exactly the same as if you were to be sitting in a chair with your feet flat on the floor. So this is where I'm taking the modification for static back today. It's a good idea if you do have a chair that's pretty upright, square, can hold you, and your feet need to be on the floor. So some of you might not have that ability. You'll probably have to come to the edge of your chair to get your feet grounded on the floor. And you're just going to sit in pelvic extension, which means you're going to roll a little arch into your lower back. And it's going to cause a chain reaction that goes through your spine. And it's going to allow your shoulders to rest. If you notice, I'll just do it one more time. I'll keep my pelvis tucked under, kind of slouch. And then I'm going to roll the little arch into my lower back. And you notice my head position changes, the shoulders kind of relax. That's where you want to be. And this might be tough for you to do. So if you notice, geez, I'm kind of getting out of breath doing this, go ahead and take a break. This isn't easy. Static back is definitely easier. And I have had people do static back laying in their bed too, but only the people that really needed it and we had no other choice. So you do have to get creative sometimes. We have a couple more minutes in static back. You doing okay there, Miss Gloria? Shoulders relaxed? Yeah. So all that pelvic roll really is from the hips. And when you roll the pelvis forward, it should feel like a pulling from the groin. Everything from here up should be relaxed. If it can't be relaxed, we're probably turning on some other muscles that we want to avoid. Yeah. 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 At least, oh, that's good. It's a good place to learn. At least she admitted it. She said she doesn't know how to relax. It's her personality. We got 2 more minutes here. And we're going to head into static back knee pillow squeezes after this. I'm actually stealing some of these routines from the new pain-free book that got published. I'm not a fan of it, but I am a fan of the routines that are in it. They are very effective. I have been trying them myself since I've been up doing weirdo stuff in the Catskills, chopping down trees, stuff I've never done before. I'm like, oh, what's that? Pain in my elbow. Oh, now it's golfer's elbow. Oh, now it's tennis elbow. It's going back and forth. And interesting. I know my shoulder is out of alignment. I know that my hip isn't talking to my shoulder. So I added on one of these routines and boom, immediate results. I love it. I'm getting some foot pain. My foot's starting to swell up because I know I love to lean on this one foot more than the other. This hip loves to lift up. So it throws all my weight to this one side, which causes me to rotate, which causes my spine to lean over to, it causes all of these things. But we know in the mechanics of the body over the years that we've been working together, at least some of you guys who've been with me, that this is how we unfold what's going on in our body and we listen to what it's telling us. So I know this foot is hurting because this that Kim has going on. And I can unwind that. And the routine that I found in this new book hit it right on the head. I even gave it to my sister. She doesn't do a darn thing, but she did it. And she, oh, it feels different. Yeah. Oh, my back felt better at work today. Yeah. Okay, we're going to head on into knee pillow squeezes in the static back position. So for you, Miss Gloria, you're going to grab your block and put it right between your knees. I'm going to demonstrate the modified version of it. Everybody else, you're still laying in that static back position. You're laying down on the floor. You're just going to put a pillow or a block or a pillow. Pillows are cool too, right in between your knees, and you're just going to squeeze and release. For me and Gloria, you're still going to sit in pelvic extension. So if you're not on the floor, you're going to roll that little arch into your lower back, and we're going to squeeze the block and release. Your feet need to be on the floor, grounded on the floor if you're sitting in the chair. This is hard work. Laying on the floor for you guys, not so hard. Okay. Oops. And when you're doing this in the static back position, there's a few things that are going on. The floor is trapping us. Would you agree? So we can't rotate out of this. If you're sitting in the chair, like I was just demonstrating, can you rotate? Can you twist your body sitting in that chair? Twist. Gloria, can you twist your body while you're sitting there? Yeah. So the answer is yes, you can. When you're laying on the floor, can you twist your body if you wanted to? Not so easy. It's gravity pulls you back and you just want to rest. So that's what's going on with the floor. We're using gravity to trap us in a straight position while we add the knee pillow squeezes to add some strength into the muscles to hold them there. Good, good, Gloria. So you just keep hanging out there, Gloria. Stay nice and upright. If you need that break, take that break. I'm going to do these for another minute. Usually in a therapy situation, we'd give you 3 sets of 20. But it's just squeeze and release over and over. That's it. There's other positions that we can do instead of static back when you start out. The other position is static wall. Your knees don't have to be bent in static back. If you had a wall at home or a door at home, you can go legs straight up the wall. I've done that before. Usually for the younger ladies who tend to be dancers and they kind of have this going on with their back, I have to trap them in such a way that takes this out so then we can work from the inside out. So static wall, once you put the legs up the wall, this starts happening to their back and it starts coming back to a more neutral position. So some of you have that going on. I know you know that. So putting your legs up the wall might be something you want to try at home. Okay, we're going to take that block and put it off to the side. For you and me, Gloria, this one's going to be hard. Everybody else on the floor, it'll be hard, but it's harder for us because we're going to be doing the modified version. We're going to go into hip lift, and it's 1 minute on each side. Some of you love this move. I love it because it's a love-hate relationship. It's hard. It's hard to do. So you're laying on the floor, right? You're going to take your legs out of static back. Hang on a moment, Gloria. I'll show you how to do it in a chair in a moment. You're going to lay on your back. You're going to put the feet flat on the floor. Well, this is our hook lying position. And we're going to cross one ankle over to the knee. Now, the best part about this is you can see if you can hold that open keyhole portion or not. If you can't and your knee's coming towards your head, you know, okay, I'm feeling tight. You probably don't want to go too much further without messing up your form. What you want to do is try and keep your pelvis nice and balanced as you pick the legs up. If you start twisting your body to get it done, we know we're compensating. So it's not the worst to do that, but I'd rather you guys stay with your form. So we're going to pick the right knee towards your chest, and your left knee is going to draw away from you. And we're going to hold that. Do you feel that work? I know you do. I'll start the timer. So in a perfect world, you'd still be able to keep your pelvis nice and neutral. And you can see how hard this is going to be as we're going to do this on the chair. I'm just going to modify it. So pull that left knee in towards you, Mare. All the way in, heel up if you can make it. And if that's way too tough, then you could put the foot back on the floor and just work on drawing that right knee away from you. So this is a hard move. Good. Good, both Lindas are rocking it. So if I were to do this in the chair, it's way harder. I got to pick my foot up off of the floor. I got to still try to sit upright. We got 15 more seconds, everybody. This is a toughie. So for people that can't pull that leg up towards them, there's that option to either just try and keep it a couple inches off the floor or keep the foot on the floor and just kind of work with the heel toe. Relax. So here's what I meant about that heel toe. There's something else that I do to modify this move, and that's keep the foot on the floor and just go heel, toe, and work my way towards being able to actually pick up the leg in this fashion. But you can keep the foot on the floor as well, even if you're sitting in a chair. Everybody ready for the other side? Cross your ankle to your knee. Try to keep that nice triangular keyhole shape. Pick the leg up. Here we go. So ankles on your knee. Pick the leg up. Gloria, pull your left knee towards your chest, or just like you're doing, heel toe on the floor. Oh, you can. But keep everything else the same. Simon didn't say. Left foot on the floor. Right ankle. Good. Can you pull your left knee towards your chest right now? Nope. Keep your right ankle where it is. Simon didn't say. There you go. That's it. No hands. No hands. Draw your right knee towards me. Draw your left knee towards you. Yep. Ooh, hard, right? Yeah. Are you able to do that without pain? Pull. Okay. Okay. 10 more seconds, everybody. We're still in it. Relax. 10 pelvic tilts. Nice break for everybody. This routine I did steal from the new book, just like I was saying. This is for hip and pelvis rebalancing when your pelvis and your hip are kind of stuck, but it's also for people who don't have pain. So if you're feeling some pain in any of these moves, it's why I'm giving you all these different modifications They don't give you these modifications in the book. I know them. That's why I'm giving them to you. I'm rocking my pelvis back and forth just to reset the one-sided work that we just did. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing, rocking back and forth, back and forth. Still okay, Gloria? Okay. Butt stays on the floor. When you rock it back and forth, the butt stays on the, that's it, that's it. Butt stays on the floor. So it's not a lift. You're just tilting the pelvis back and forth. Okay. Yay. We got a cramp, everybody. Hamstring cramp. That's a good cramp, especially on that left side to you. Woo. That's a Charlie horse. Okay, we're going to stay on the floor. We're going to do foot circles, point flexes. I know you love to hate this one. This one stinks. And if it stinks that bad, you can certainly do it in the static back position too. So if you want to put your legs up in static back, just do foot circles, point flexes, you can do it there too. It's tougher in some ways and easier in others. I'd love to see 40, but you do what you can. So I'm laying flat on the floor. You can do this in a chair if you wanted to. I'm pulling my right knee in towards my chest. I am keeping my shin parallel to the floor. I'm not letting my heel drop to my butt. I'm taking my ankle through outward rotations. I don't care which direction you go. I just don't want any movement from the knee. Knee should stay still. The ankle is the only thing that's moving. The other leg usually is straight out along the floor, but I've caught some of you guys, you've got some issues where it feels better to just have the knee bent. That's okay. That's all right. But you do want to pull your knee in towards your chest. Some of you cannot do that. You can't reach that. You could take a strap and put it underneath your leg and pull towards your chest. You can certainly do that. But the reason why we're pulling the knee towards the chest is to turn the hip muscle on. I'm taking my hands behind my knee to do it. Good, Gloria. You can stay there. Hands behind your knee is totally fine. That's how this one works. Very good. Yep. And I only started doing that a couple of years ago. I noticed, you know what, I can go deeper. So I have worse than yours, but better than most, where I can pull it deeper. I said, why am I not pulling it deep? Oh, just because I've been doing it this way. So I've pulled it deeper. If you can pull it deeper, pull it deeper. You want that knee in towards your chest. The only thing, the caveat is you don't want the knee going out to the side. You want to keep it in line with your hips. So when you're pulling that knee in, don't let it come out to the side to do the work. If you're 9 months pregnant, okay, I get it. You're probably not going to be laying on your back on the floor anyway if you're 9 months pregnant. That's very uncomfortable.
What's the giving birth?
Unless you're giving birth. All right. We're heading into point flexes now. So you guys have done 40 outward circles, 40 inward circles. Now point your toe and pull it back. It's plantar flexion and dorsiflexion. Point, pull back, point, pull back. Now, last week I was doing this move and I was actually doing it against the wall standing up because it's very hard to do it without anything helping you. But this is actually one of the exercises to do it in a standing position. It is not easy. It is not easy to do, but it is a variation of this move. And when you're done with this, we can go to the other leg. Ankle circles, point flexes. Good, Gloria. Stay on top of it and keep on counting. Listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, yep, stop. Exactly. I know you're saying that, but I know you won't do that. You'll keep going anyway. How you doing over there, Lynn? Good? Mary, you okay? Yeah? Okay. Rocking over there, Carol? Yes, good. I'm glad you said that. Mine have started clicking, they never stop. They're just like grinding gears. You'll find that there's a lot of that. On the other leg yet, everybody? I caught a few of you that are already on your other leg. You'll notice one is different than the other. It's way easier on one side than it is the other side. There is a version of this from the old plantar fasciitis menu. Maybe if I remember, we'll do this as one of our last exercises instead of mucking up the walls. We'll we'll do this move. You take fingers and you put it between every one of your toes and you motivate, you manipulate your own ankle in the circles while you're sitting in this position. I think we're going to do that at the end. I'll try to remember. I see a lot of you are on that last circle. Some of you are even in the point flex area. Again, when we're doing this move, you want to have your hands behind your knee to pull your hip into the deepest flexion that you can. If you cannot reach there, you can use your strap and pull that behind your knee to hold it there. A big part of this move is also pelvic separation. So you'll notice one leg is flat along the floor, the other knee is pulled in towards your chest. So we're trying to get opposite sides of your pelvis to separate because those need to unlock and move as well, which is why this is the hip unlock menu. Try to keep your heel down when you're doing the work if you can. On yours, at least. Yours is way too high. Good. When we're done with this, I'm going to give everybody the opportunity to do floor block, which means I'm going to have to give you extra blocks. Gloria, you won't be doing floor block. We'll do something different. Mary, you'll be doing something different. Marie, you'll be doing something different. Maybe Linda and Carol. Oh my goodness, it's only you and me, Lynn, doing floor block. We'll check it out. Everybody seems to have shoulder issues, including me, but I can do floor block. Everybody good? I am going to demonstrate floor block. And you guys figure out, since now I realized everybody's got a shoulder issue, you guys figure out if it's something that you want to attempt or if you want to do the modification. I'm laying flat on the floor. My nose is in the floor. I did inwardly rotate from both of my hips. Arms go straight over my head. They're also propped up on the blocks. So what's happening on my back is thoracic extension. I'm engaging my shoulders to come back and down. I've got my modified golf grip and I'm rotating out. I'm going to hold there for 1 minute, there for 1 minute, and there for 1 minute. Yes, I'm doing this face down on the floor. So if you guys have shoulders that your arm doesn't want to go overhead when you do your pullovers and your elbow loves to bend because you can't hit the floor, floor block might stink for you. So there's the option just to lay in frog position, which is flat on the floor, and try to let the arms rest back. You might be stuck here. That's okay. We'll just rest there. My arms can now almost hit the floor. So what we're doing is we're trying to give the shoulders a chance to kind of stretch and rest back while I'm asking the pelvis to come into a little more extended position to help the shoulders to come back and down. So that's the modification for floor block. Who wants to attempt floor block? You want to do the frog too?
And it's funny because this shoulder doesn't hit because this is the shoulder I had surgery.
Mine as well.
Yeah.
But floor block, I'm stuck. It's not pain, but it's tension. And I know I feel better when I'm done with it. So that's why I do it. So no one wants to attempt floor block.
In this position, but I don't know about going out.
Fair. You want another block? We'll give it a shot. Okay, it is a 3-minute long move either way. So whether you're laying on your back in frog position and you're letting your arms hang, or you're going to give floor block a try, I'll be here with you. What would you like to do, frog? Okay, so when we lay in floor block, here's where the blocks go. So the first, let me show it this way. So the first position is at 12 o'clock. They're right under our forearms. So I'm laying down, shoulders back and down, and the blocks are propping me up. Second position is here. And third position is here. The blocks go right underneath the forearms in a perfect world. Or pillows. You might be at home working on pillows. So this is our floor block. Remember, the arms are straight. This is a working pose. If this is tough for you to do, you can do frog, just like I demonstrated. That's our modification for this move. So here's our floor block. Minute is going. I'm gonna walk around. Nice, Carol. I like what you're doing there. You okay, Marie?
So far.
Okay.
But I don't think I'm going to spread out.
Okay.
Okay.
You want the blocks under the elbows? That's okay.
Oh,
No, it's all right. It's all right underneath there. It just puts sometimes it puts strain on the elbows, so I don't want your elbows to hurt, but maybe they wouldn't have. I don't know. Go ahead, straight out, modified golf grip.
Right.
Good. And the face goes down. You're going to outwardly rotate from the shoulder. That's it. That's it. Pigeon toed.
Oh,
Yep, that's it. You got 20 more seconds there. All right, Linda's going to go for it. Modified floor block also comes out of this one. We've done that a while ago. 10 more seconds there, Marie. Okay. Oh, who was eating over there? Okay. And your minute is up, Marie. Everybody else, we got a little more than 2 minutes left laying in frog. Right. If you laid down, would your face be able to rest on the floor? What's it like to straighten your elbows? What does it feel like? It feels all right? Okay, I'm going to put the blocks in front of you. And you can put your forearms onto those blocks on either side of you if that's a possibility. Do you still feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay, straighten out your elbows. Take a modified golf grip, just like the arm circles. And I want you to turn your thumbs to the sky and try to do that from your shoulders. Not the prettiest, because there is still some elbow bending. But if you can accomplish that, okay. You're right there, Marie? Okay. We got 1 more minute hanging out here. Very nice, Linda. I like what I'm seeing. Gloria, looking lovely. So Gloria's modifying it by doing the floor block that I demonstrated, except she doesn't have her arms on the blocks. And she has her elbows bent at 90 degrees. That's modified floor block without the blocks. Good. We're going to bring you out to the sides, Linda. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Try to straighten out your elbows best you can. Nice and straight, thumbs to the sky. It should feel like work back here. You okay, Miss Gloria? You right there? Sorry, Mary.
See, the shoulder doesn't go down.
Yeah, mine doesn't either.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't either. It's okay. It's going to take work. I mean, somebody went in there and sliced and cut and did.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So my left shoulder does the same thing. Does the same thing, and I'm still working on it. It is getting better, but man, is it slow. Slow process. You okay, Miss Lynn? Okay, I'm going to bring it out to a T. Is that all right? Try to keep the elbows nice and straight, and your thumbs point to the sky. Elbows nice and straight. Good, Marie. You and Gloria doing the same thing there. I like it. That's where I was when my shoulder was rehabbing. I could not lift my arm up onto the block, so I just left it on the floor. 5 more seconds, Linda. Very nice, everybody. Okay, Linda, if you feel like coming out of that, you may. We're still going to stay on the floor. For those of you that can, we're going to do active wishbone. It's a face down move. It's a femur rotator. So if anybody can't lay face down and you're in the frog position and face down stinks for you, you can do knee drops. You can do femur rotation. So if you're laying on the floor, you can do something like this. You can do even one-legged femur rotations, in and out, in and out. This is what it looks like from the side, in, out, in, out. You do 10 or 20 each leg, in, out, in, out. You can even do that if you're sitting in a chair. I've had somebody do knee drops when their back was up against the wall. This is all they could do. They had neck issues, so they did this against the wall. I mean, modify it, get creative. But wishbone looks like this. You lay down on your face, and it's active wishbone. So I want you to try to keep your knees touching each other. They're going to walk away from each other, but I want you to try to keep them touching. Heels come to your butt. Dorsiflex the ankles. I'm going to turn so you could see what's going on. You drop the heels away from each other. Woo! So it's internal rotation. Guess who's not going to be doing this move? Right. Right. right? Right. Good. So there's a lot of internal rotation here. And then back together, open and back. This is active wishbone. Again, alternatives are knee drops, or like Carol's doing, isolated femur rotation. She's just laying on her back, locking out the leg and rotating the whole thing as a unit in and out from her hip. Knee drops, also an alternative. Let's stay there for 2 minutes. Whatever the heck you guys are doing, stay there for 2 minutes. Let's do that. Sounds good to me. Time. And those of you who are doing the active wishbone, double check. Your knees love to walk away from each other, right? There's a space that comes in between your knees. They love to walk away from each other. So try and keep them touching so that the internal rotation stays an internal rotation. Doesn't end up being a frog. Very nice, Miss Linda. Both Lindas. And while you're laying on your face, your heels are going to want to drop away from your butt. Do your best to keep your heels close to your butt. Yes, your hamstrings may cramp. Yeah. And if the hamstring's cramping, good. I like that way better than, oh, there's my sciatica issue that I always have. A hamstring cramping is telling me muscles are waking up from this corrective exercise that you're doing to try and hold your hip in a more neutral position. If you stand up and pain is worse, then we know, okay, that 1 or 2 or 3 might not have worked for you, and we'll have to give you something else. But there is going to be a change. These moves, as simple as they are, you guys know they're really powerful. They're so silly how simple they are. Very nice, Miss Carol. Very, very nice. Mary, okay? Okay, excellent. I love what Gloria keeps doing over here. She's kind of in her own world at some point because it's her world and it's her body and she's listening to it and she's doing different things and coming up with so many different moves. I'm actually, she's laughing. I'm learning. I'm learning, but that's good. Finally, this is the first day that it's the first day she's not beating the crud out of herself saying, I have to do this. I applaud you. And she's doing all these different things. And I'm going, there's a modification I can give to a student that's feeling what she's feeling. And she helps me. You guys help me. So I'm watching what you're doing. I'm watching what you're doing. I'm learning. And a cramp, right? Good. We are going to do, let's do kneeling counter stretch is hard. We're going to do a modification for that. Kneeling counter stretch stinks. It's really hard to do. It's even harder to do for me. The alternative to kneeling counter stretch is like a downward facing dog, hands on the wall. That's a modified counter stretch. You guys have seen me do that before with my hands on the wall. And we kind of do something like this. I'll show you kneeling counter stretch. It's a minute-long move. You can try it if you're on the floor. Shoulders might not like it, but I'll give you that opportunity. Kneeling counter stretch. Use the video to line me up. So it's not only just stretching the shoulders, I got to pull my knees in towards my chest. So there's a lot of work going on here. I can see my arms are already shaking, and you could hear in my voice how difficult this is. It's not just, oh, that arm doesn't work to push me up because it's already in full overhead extension. It doesn't want to work there. So this is a tough move because you also have to engage your hip flexors to try and, you want to try to pull your knees towards your chest without moving. Does that make sense to everybody? So it's an engagement, but we're not sliding. So as long as your arms can go overhead and you feel like you have the strength in your abdominals and your back to hold you there, you can go for it. Sure, you can give it a try. But the point of this move is to try and turn on the hip flexors. It's a very strong move while your shoulders are in that overhead flexion and the thoracic extension. So it's all of these things tied together. Modified version, regular old counter stretch. So hands on the counter, standing and doing the same thing. Or if you've got shoulder issues, things like that, hands on the wall. My arms went out way wider when my shoulder was in more pain. And I did my move like this. I'm almost standing up, really. It's almost standing up, but I'm just tilting my pelvis forward, tightening my thighs. So you got like 3 different versions you can do. Does everybody feel comfortable picking one of those? No, huh? Stand up, Glor. Stand up. You're going to take it over to the wall. Give it a shot over there. I see some of you are going to try it kneeling. Stand up. You could go over to the wall, no problem. So for you, Miss Gloria, I would put your hands on the wall wider with your elbows nice and straight. Linda, same thing for you if you want to stand up when you do it. So I would go way wider, anywhere you can go where your elbows stay straight, even if your arms are way out to the sides, because we want to retrain the shoulder how to do its work. Nope, feet are hip distance. All right, ladies on the floor, you're about 10 if you've been holding in, you're about 10 seconds away from giving up. Your hips are going to come back. Tilt the pelvis. There you go. Thighs tight. Excellent. I love the adjustment. Go as much as you need to for the shoulder, but not too much where you're not working anymore. Feet hip distance. Good, nice and straight. Try to get the pelvis into extension. So can you bring your pelvis back, kind of like a downward dog, and tilt in this direction? Should feel like work in the hips and the pelvis. Good, Gloria. Help. Feet are straight. Try to tilt your pelvis, and that's it, my lady. That's it. Lower your right hand so that it's the same height as your left. There you go. There you go. Now they're the same. Hold that there. I'm timing you for a minute. Good. Everybody who's been on the floor doing this counter stretch is now doing different stuff. We got a cats and dogs over here. Lynn, you okay? Feel a good stretch?
Feeling my shoulder.
Yes. Ladies on the wall, 10 more seconds. Remember, pelvic extension, extension. That's like the doggy turning his tailbone up. He's nuts. Yes, right. It turns your legs on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody on the wall, you're done. That's counter stretch, what you guys did on the wall. What you guys did on the floor is kneeling counter stretch. Wall is kind of like a modified counter stretch. Everybody okay? Limping back to your seats. Like, holy cow, my legs. Felt that in your legs, right? If the pelvis stays tucked under when you're doing it, you lose that connection to the shoulders. We really want to keep the pelvis extended. Hip flexors turn on, thighs tight, lock it out so that this can talk to this in a new way and change this to this someday. We want to get the shoulder to be able to extend. That's the point of that one. Okay, gravity drop is the last one in this routine. I'll give you more, absolutely. But we can't really do gravity drop. We don't have anything to hang on to over here, which stinks. It's so close because we have a stage. That would be great. So we're going to stand pigeon-toed. Guess who can't do that? No pigeon-toed for you. So we're going to stand pigeon-toed. But for Miss Gloria, she's going to do something a little different. So standing pigeon-toed is an alternative to our gravity drop. Thighs are tight. I'm going to stand here for a couple minutes. Gravity drop is usually a 3-minute long move. I'm sure some of you know it if you've been with me over the years. It's like you're hanging off of a step. Your heels drop and you're hanging on the step with the balls of your feet, but you're hanging on to both sides of the railing if it's available, so that you're not hanging on to one side and putting a twist into your body. We're letting the heels drop and we're stacking the shoulders, the knees, the hips all over the heels so that the body relearns where straight is with the help of gravity. 2.5 more minutes, everybody. Good, Gloria. For you, just standing straight is a-okay. Even turning the feet out and doing some glute squeezes. That would help too. Yep, and squeeze the cramp or pain. So when you squeeze the butt, you get pain. Okay, so no butt squeeze. No butt squeeze.
Have to do it gingerly and, work into it, and then it's all right.
Okay.
Can't just do it. I used to be able to do it.
Maybe in a few weeks that might change. That might change. But
I'm here. You know what I mean? I couldn't probably get here first. And holding the steering wheel, that's a big deal for me with the left hand. Goes to the shoulder. So, thankful of it works. And I try it at home.
I believe you. That's why I gave you the strap and I gave you the block. Everybody okay in this position? Not bothering anybody, right? Believe it or not, this position can free up a frozen shoulder, as long as it isn't from, some Kim's scars and everybody, because somebody dug in there and ripped things apart. So when people have these, oh, I don't know why my shoulder just froze up. Stand like here. Sometimes it takes 20 minutes, but getting the hips and pelvis to realign, we'll call it. Do you feel that chain reaction that happens? So it's changing the position of your head. It's absolutely changing what's going on in the shoulder. So if you've got one of those, the frozen shoulder, I don't know why, it just froze up over the years. It froze up over the years. No, unless a car ran you over, we're looking at something that's a little bit different. Your body forgot how to recruit. Last 30 seconds. I found out something. I was totally drunk last night, and so I'm sitting down on the edge of the bed, and I know this hip loves to tuck under, and this hip loves to turn forward. So I just sat in the opposite direction. I pulled this back, and my upper back went, and I went, let me try something. And I picked my arm, and I went, I gained a couple of inches. Even her eyes got big. She went, I gained a couple of inches. And I started feeling muscles kind of turning on back here to try and pull my shoulder back on their own. So you got to figure these things out at home. When you understand, I know this is off and this is off. Let me do the opposite of that. And all of a sudden, my body started to twist. This started engaging, and I could pick my shoulder up higher. So I know the key to my shoulder is heading a little bit more down towards my hips and fixing what's going on there. Yeah, it took a year and a half to figure that out, but at least I figured it out. I hope the same for you. Everybody done with this move? It's coming out. Let's do some hard stuff. Who wants to do hard stuff?
That was an easy one.
That was an easy one. Now that the hips are better aligned, let's give it some tough stuff. How about triangle? How about air bench? How about air bench isn't the worst, but triangle's hard. How about some sitting floor stuff? And then we'll do that foot move that I tried to remember. Triangle is hard. Since we don't have a lot of wall space, triangle is a real big open one. And we got too many people in class for wall space. So triangle, the legs are separated. It's like the biggest, widest stance, but then watch my feet. I'm going to turn out one foot. But if you see me from the side, I do want to keep that foot in the same line as it would be bisecting this foot. So I don't want the heels in the same line. I want my heel to be bisecting this foot. So if I was trapping myself on the wall to do this move, when I turn my foot out, I actually keep it 4 inches off of the wall. If that makes sense. The key to this move is trying to keep your pelvis just like it was when you were standing facing straight. And notice when you turn out, all of a sudden you twist. We don't want that though. You want to try to keep the pelvis where it was. Now we'll add on to it. So triangle pose. We're going to hold it for 1 minute on each side. This is not an easy move. 1 minute. Here's the extra parts. The foot that you didn't turn out, we're going to pretend we're sitting a baby on it. So stick the hip out, let it slide out to the side. And then we're going to lean over. Good luck. This move, when I was first experiencing foot pain from my off-balance body, this was the move that fixed it for me. Now it's going to take a little bit more than just this move. So this move fixed it for me. So you want to look down at your foot if you can, if you're this deep in the position. Think about everything against the imaginary wall behind you and take a look down at your foot. Can you make sure that your knee and your ankle are pointing straight over your straight foot and your straight toes? So if your knee is kind of diving in and the femur is rotating in, I want you to adjust that and try and use, maybe even the butt muscles will kick on to hold this. And yes, we've got 10 more seconds left, so stay in it. Not an easy move, but it is a wide stanced move. Linda, your right toes should be pointed straight ahead. They're pointed out at me. Well, don't go so wide then. Don't go so wide. Switching. So we start out with the feet parallel. Yeah, right? Hard. That's a hard working move. That is no joke. Feet start out parallel. Show me parallel feet, Lynn. Train tracks. Train tracks. Look at them. Train tracks. Yes.
Like Frankenstein.
Yes. Well, at least you don't look like Frankenstein. Frankenstein's monster. So I'm going to turn the foot out. So I can go this wide. You might not go this wide. That's okay. Don't go that wide. There's people that go wider than me. Think about it. You want to keep everything on that imaginary wall behind you. So don't let this twist. You want to try to keep it back. So that's where the work takes place. Everybody ready? Arms wherever the heck you're going to put them. Hip out, lean. So if you get a chance to look down at your knee and how your ankle is sitting and how your foot is sitting, you want to track your knee directly over your toes. It's going to take some butt work to do that. "20 seconds if you could stay with me." Looking beautiful, Marie. Very, very nice. Lynn, you okay? Good. Hard work. Good. In the legs, everybody, you feeling that? Good. That's where you want. You want the legs to wake up, hips wake up. 5 more seconds. Learn to hold my shoulders. Come on out. That was hard. Okay. Right? We're going to do a free squat instead of air bench, and we're going to hold it for, let's do 5 breaths. 5 real breaths. 5 normal breaths. Then we'll sit down and I'll show you that foot move because it is really helpful. So free squat is just like you're sitting in extension in your chair, except your arms don't have to go out forward, but mine do. I like to keep the shoulders back, and it's a squat. That's it. Your hands can go on your hips if you want them to. They can go on your shoulders if you want them to. But I want you to try to keep that S curve in your spine by keeping your pelvis in extension. Just 5 breaths. I don't even know why I hit my timer. Yes, your feet are straight. Yes, your feet are underneath your hips. So I don't know what you're doing. You want to take a look down at your own feet. Can't check everybody at home, especially.
Should the knees not go beyond the toes?
Very good question. So she asked, come on out, if the knees should not go beyond the toes. No, I wouldn't worry too much about that in this one. Air bench, yeah, that's different. But in this one, it is a squat. Some people do knees beyond the toes, and it's gonna turn on different muscles. But you know what? The body will adjust itself. I've seen some really, really bad looking squats to my eyes, but it still actually helps the body. So don't worry too much about knees beyond the toes in the free squat. We're going to have a seat. This is going to be a little weird for you guys who have shoes on, but you can do it without taking your shoes off, because I know some of you want to keep your shoes on for today. I am going to put my hand on my filthy foot. So when I sit, notice I am not sliding my feet, just like I am in hook lying on the floor when we do that hip crossover stretch. Feet stay where I put them, hip distance. I cross over. That can be just terribly hard for some of you already. I'm going to put one finger in between each and every one of my toes. Even if you don't want to do that, you could take your ankle and you could circle it. But the benefit that you're going to get is going to be sitting in extension, in pelvic extension, and get the toe separation. This part's tough. This little piggy. That's it. So you get the separation. Here's the kicker. Don't twist your body when you do it. I want you to try to sit in pelvic extension while you do it. Good luck. Good luck. You can do 10, you can do 40. I usually end at 10. So, yeah.
It's important to get the fingers all the way down to the toes coming out of the foot.
That's down to you guys. I like that because then that means my toes are separating as wide as possible. And if you've read any of my blogs or watched that, no, I didn't do a video on the toes. But when I went to Palau and I saw the people's feet there, I was like, eh, because they were the way your feet are supposed to be. And my mind didn't recognize that because, hey, we're used to seeing feet that have been squished. And to me, that was beautiful. And their feet are so separated because they don't get put in shoes. And they're just walking around. They even got flip-flops, which gives them other issues, but their toes were separate. I took the picture and I put it on my blog. I can't say the guy's toenails weren't like claws. Trying to remember. Oh, I do have pictures of it. I think I remember the fingernails looking a little different. They had a curve to them. And all right, that's a little different.
Yoga toes that probably work.
Uh-huh. Yoga toes? Uh-huh. It's still on YouTube. So if you guys do want to look it up, it was called, I'll try to remember the company. I forgot it. They did a talk at the E word at the Egoscue clinic. I forgot which one. Correct toes. So if you look up correct toes and Egoscue, it's still online. So you can still look it up. He did this whole hour-long talk about how your feet tuck to your hips and so on and so forth. And it was excellent. They created this toe separating device that people were using. So this is going to be our last move for the day. You guys want to do something that's more bilateral to finish out, that's your choice. I am actually going to end on this move because we're getting close to time. I don't even know what the heck this move is called. Just do it. It's good to get that toe separation. And if you do buy the correct toes, they're kind of expensive. And I think they were a little bit lacking, but an excellent idea. You have to buy the shoes to help correct the toes too. Correct toes will separate your toes, which means you can't fit into normal shoes anymore. Normal American shoes go in. So the correct toes, and more companies are making them, making sneakers that have a wider toe box at the end. So you look like that. So you do have to get those. Yeah, and they are, and they're just the crap. Lem.
What is it? H-O?
There's many. There's Lems, there's Hoku, there's a lot of companies that are doing it. Okay, guys. That's it for TV land. I'm gonna cut it off there and let you guys go. Good to see you, and I'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.